welcome to Conversations and Opinions. I'm Tarvis.
I'm Caronica.
I'm Shae.
And I'm Clorissa. And y'all, before this camera got rolling today, see, everybody's face already has an expression because we started a conversation. Today's topic is going to be confidence versus conceited. Y'all, the conversation's already started, so we're going to do this the right way. We're going to start off formally, but I just want y'all to know there's some drama already going behind the scenes. So let's go around the table and just raise your hand if you feel like you are confident in yourself.
Sometimes.
Okay, yeah, me too.
All the time.
Okay, all right.
All the time.
And then truthfully, by God, tell if you have conceited tendencies or feel like you are also conceited.
Yes. I'm going to raise my hand. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So this is
And nobody else at the table raised their hand on that conceited.
Right.
So let's see if the truth coming out.
Okay, all right. The truth will set us all free. And
Right. Because you said tell the truth, by God.
Yes.
So and nobody else raised their hand.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah, see what I told y'all. Okay, so confidence. What do y'all feel? Confidence. Is confidence a good characteristic to have?
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I agree. Why do you think confidence is good?
Because that means that you're kind of unshakable. Mm-hmm. Meaning, if you walk into a room, you just exude the spirit of confidence. Okay. No matter what room you're in.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and I think confidence is more so, it's like you're sure of the ability that you have. Like if you're at work, you're sure that I can get this work done. It's a positive thing.
Okay.
Yeah, whether it's sports, singing, anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think confidence is a good thing because it allows you to, within yourself as a person, to recognize your worth.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that I'm grew into confidence because now I just really do rely on myself. Like I'll roll the dice on myself any day now. But like you said, sometimes maybe I didn't used to be that way. So before we get started on the next little piece, confidence, the definition is a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own ability or quality. So I think we all kind of just said the same thing. We do feel that about ourselves. Look at her ramping up. Because conceited is excessively proud of oneself and vain.
Yeah, I say it all the time. I'm a little bit vain because I always say I think I'm the best looking thing this side of heaven. I don't care who I'm standing next to. Mm-hmm. But to me, that's a thin line between confidence and conceited because I'm assured of myself.
Okay.
Not that I have the best body, the best face, or whatever that, but I love me.
But that, to me, that's the side of it is confidence. The other side, to me, when I think of conceited is, okay, you play football. You know that you're a good football player. But now you are like, oh, when I walk in the room, I'm the person. You're extra with it.
So let me just jump in and give you a bonus word that I pulled up. Cocky.
Yes.
Conceited or arrogant, especially in a bold or imprudent way.
Yes.
Impudent. I don't know, y'all. IMPUDENT. In a bold way, basically. So that's what you were getting ready to go into. People who come in the room knowing they better than everybody.
Yes. So I think it's a thin line because I think it's great when it's confidence. But I feel like if you're confident, you don't have to. People see it. You don't have to say what you are.
Absolutely.
Okay. I feel like when your confidence is like, okay, oh, she's beautiful and stuff like that, and that person's like, oh, thank you. And it's like, that's a done deal.
Okay.
Right. Like, you don't have to,
announce it.
You don't have to make an announcement of who you are.
Okay.
Because it's like, oh, she does a good guy. Oh, that's Shae. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you walk in confidence.
Confidence has a component of being humble too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you don't have humility with it, it is conceited.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay.
I was just going to say, whose truth is that? But
well, that's what the definition kind of says.
Did it say you have to have humility?
The difference between the two is one person is humble and the other.
But that ain't what the dictionary said, so I was just asking.
So just being humble, I think that these things escalate. Confidence escalates to conceited. Conceited escalates to cocky.
Correct.
So what's the difference between those? I think the level of being humble or the level of humility.
That's what's out of the one.
In some definitions, they do say lack of humility.
So, but you can stand on what you're feeling. Why do you feel that you have to be conceited when you're already confident?
I never said that.
But you said you're both.
Yes, meaning because I speak life into myself. Mm-hmm. I have affirmations that I say. because I got bullied growing up.
Okay.
So when she's skinny, she buck-toothed, she four-eyed. So as I matured into the woman that I am, I don't give a rat's patootie what anyone says about
But is
me.
that your confidence or is that your conceit? Because conceit, looking at how you just described the affirmations and things like that, that falls in line with just being confident to me.
Correct.
Conceit seems like a defense mechanism. It seems like you have to kind of get to the punch before people do. Well, I know I used to be this and that, but...
No, I don't say that. I'm just saying that was my journey.
Okay.
So my affirmations, it's not that I go around, I'm the best thing this side of heaven.
You done said it 3 times on this podcast.
Right, no. In conversation, like with my mom or my brother or something like that, none of my friends will tell you I'm a conceited individual. Nobody.
So why do you say it?
Because I feel like that when I say it to myself sometimes.
But
Like,
that's a defense. That's a fence mechanism. That's
you're still based off of your childhood.
Yeah,
because confidence to me is just that
mechanism.
Whatever you do good at, you're confident in what you do. You're confident in
Absolutely.
Tarvis. I'm confident I'll do this. That's different. But the other part of it turns to conceit. But
I must be conceited towards myself.
I'm gonna start
Because
a little bit.
Conceited people tend to. They're conceited because they have to, because they don't believe in their own selves. So they have to project themselves to everyone else that they're more.
Well, no,
I know I used to be this, but look at me now. I'm gonna tell you who I am, and it's like
that's a reference. So I look in the mirror and say, I'm the best looking thing this side of heaven. No other person outside.
I'm talking about the actual
that in a room of people.
I'm talking about the actual definition of like if a conceited person, because if someone's conceited people I've grown up in over the years, high school stuff, like most people are considered to be conceited. In that definition, they are people who have to tell themselves something and project it to everyone about how they feel about themselves,
even when no one's talking
about it, because they have to try to convince themselves that this is what they are, because they don't truly believe it.
I'm going to stir the pot a little bit because I did not raise my hand at the beginning of the thing for conceit. But I'm going to say the second part of the conceited definition is vain. And even though you don't have to be loud with your vanity, I know I am. Not because I think I'm so pretty or this or that, but if I see a picture of myself that is not what I would put up of myself, I immediately go into like a slight meltdown mode. So my vanity, the vanity part of myself will not allow me to put out something that isn't the best version of myself. So when I think of the second part of the definition, I think the cocky part is what I have the biggest problem with versus the vain part of conceit. Because cocky people, they the ones who come in the room and
I don't do that.
Did you clear your throat because that was a little shade at yourself?
No,
I don't do that.
Okay. She's so funny.
But no vanity. Like when I saw the vain
because
part,
I'll say all day I'm vain.
I saw the vain part and laughed at myself because I'm like, oh well, yeah, we all know that I'll cut up over a picture being wrong, or just being presented wrong. So I do feel like there's if vain is part of the conceited definition, then maybe I do exhibit some characteristics of that, but not on purpose.
And I think all of us we all do the picture thing.
Yeah.
But I would never
call yourself vain.
Well, I would never. I would never cry over a picture.
Okay.
It would just be like I ain't putting the picture up. It's just one of the thing, but it's not, because I feel like you want to put your best
version of yourself forward.
Yeah, your best version of yourself out, but I'm not gonna cry over it.
Right.
But it's like, dang, why you have to put me a picture out like that? Like, that's messed up. You see that on my nose? Like things like that. But as far as, I feel like I've been in a room with people and they're like, we're talking about a certain thing. We can be talking about work, or we can talk about certain things, and they'd be like, oh yeah, and I'd be like, oh yeah, something. Actually, I do that. I don't. That to me is not cocky.
That's just confidence.
Or that's just
you sharing information about something you.
I actually do this too. Oh, but thank you. But I'm actually a writer. I'm actually a So I don't see anything wrong with that. But we all know the difference. We all have been around a person. You had those side conversations. You be like, okay, this person is extra.
They sucked up all the air in the room when they came in.
So I've been in those situations where you're like, all this person to do is talk about themselves.
Yeah.
And
self-absorbed, self-centered.
Usually talks about themselves a whole lot. So you ever have a conversation, we talk about that when we were dating and stuff like that. This person only talks about themselves.
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
It's a lot of guys.
Like, so.
That's that convincing themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I see it when I think of examples. I see it like that because you've been in situations you're on the other end like, my turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can we talk about something else?
Yeah, I've heard how
other than
amazing you are. Yeah. Yeah.
And how great you are.
So how do you determine the fine line? Because there is a fine line between confidence, conceited. Because you hear people say, I'm not cocky, I'm confident. So people kind of try to say, I'm not being humble. Because some people don't have any humble bone in their body. Or maybe they do, but they just too scared to put it out because now we see your vulnerability. But I know those people that come into the room where it's all about them. And then you're like, wow, she must really be a 2 in her head because she's really just laying it on thick about how pretty she is or about how smart she is or her 90 degrees she has. Or it's like, why are you doing all of that? Who are you trying to impress?
And it has nothing to do with looks because you could be the most beautiful person in the world. When you hear some people go back and they be like, oh, I was jealous of that person. And you be like, oh, why would she be jealous of somebody? Because it has nothing to do with it's what you feel inside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there because some people think that, when somebody looks a certain way.
No. There are some people's favorite celebrities who are very attractive, but behind the scenes, it's like, oh, pretty has nothing to do with any of this.
Because it's what you believe.
Yeah. Yeah. So self-belief.
Yep.
Where do we get that from?
Wow.
From the world, social media, families.
What our society tells us is what's beautiful and what's not beautiful, what's accepted.
Yep.
You quiet over here in the corner here.
Oh, I'm listening.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
I'm listening. That's all. I mean.
But, yeah, I think conceited and being confident is worlds different from each other.
Okay.
Because, like,
you said it's what now?
The worlds different, worlds away from each other. Because confident, it's okay to want to express, thank God I got a master's degree. And or you're happy about the things that you have accomplished in life. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think when you have to display yourself so harshly and so much to where it's almost like everybody around the room's looking at each other talking about, what is why he talking? And it's always a conversation because people thinking like, that person don't like themselves too much.
Yeah.
Because that's the first thing they're going to think.
Yeah. What they're doing is actually giving everybody else the exact opposite opinion of what they're doing. I'm so amazing. It's like, oh, you're struggling.
But you're not.
Right.
Because you don't really believe that. Is what it is. They don't really
confidence
believe
is always a good thing because when we're going to embark on something new, when you're getting ready to try, or when your child is going to go take a test, it's like, you can do this. You're amazing.
Right,
you got this.
You're boosting.
Confidence is a good thing to have, but I just think that sometimes it can go a little far.
And when you saying that, I remember the Davidsons? Their YouTube channel. One of their kids she was like, oh, he's confident, he does good, and he made a comment to the other kid in a negative way about something to work, and she was like, let me turn these cameras off, I had to get this together real good, because he was confident. But when you're starting to bring
because they usually bring other people down.
Because
that's when
now
they go
you're
to the
putting
next
yourself
level.
up there, and now she was correcting it. That's why I said that some things are taught because you're building your kids up, but then you're also trying to keep them humble with it. Like, you can be confident and be happy about stuff, and even teach somebody something, but you don't want to put other people down.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be mean.
You shouldn't have to step on a neck to
make you feel better about yourself.
And it's a balance because sometimes people build up so much. And that's good, but they forget to teach the other part. And I think that's sometimes because you see kids that they go for right there and then they get real and it's like, oh, this kid's a trip.
Now, is cockiness good in spurts? Have you ever had to be cocky with somebody?
You said in spurts?
In spurts. Is it okay to be cocky from time to time if somebody is constantly undervaluing something? Or is it being cocky or is it just reminding them? You know how you've maybe been in a situation where you weren't picked for something, or somebody said something and you like, do you know my background? Do you know what I got going on? Do you know?
It depends on how the conversation is going. Because to me, if you are at work and you didn't get picked for something, cockiness is not going to help you. So I think it's just more so staying in your confidence. Like
Staying in your confidence.
Yeah, being confident.
Stand
I know I can do
still,
that.
strong, and do what you know you do.
Because people usually know when you are capable and this person's confident. So being cocky ain't gonna get you picked. Most likely it's not gonna get you. Ain't gonna get picked.
Remind them why you didn't get picked in the first place.
I just feel like just stay who you are. If you're confident, be confident.
Yeah.
You don't have to make people see who you are. They see it if you're confident.
But then that goes back, I think, a little bit to perception, because you read the definition, but that doesn't mean everybody believes the definitions. And what their understanding or comprehension could be a jumble of cocky, conceited, and confident.
Because they all kind of...
Yes, because we as human beings always have something to say about somebody. I don't care what nobody say at the end of the day. So when I'm listening to you guys talk about conceit, cocky, and confidence, it just goes back to the individual you're dealing with. Because someone can know that you are confident because you're assured of yourself about what you can and cannot do. But they may perceive that as you being conceited.
Because they don't have what you have, or because they aren't at the level. Because I do know some people
you can perceive it. No, I agree with that. You can perceive it. But as far as some people are walking in cockiness. But because we know those people too. You met those people, like, oh, this person doing too much. You see, I mean, you're like, wow, like they just want to make sure that you see them. Like
they like to be seen.
But you got people, like you said, it's a perception. Because some people might be jealous of a person who's confident and are doing it. Some people are jealous because you're not extra.
Right.
So you because
you don't have to
yell. Yes, you don't have to do that. And people really want to come to you. They're drawn to you. But like, oh, that's a pleasant person. You're not doing anything to get this. You're just being who you
yourself.
And you're confident in what you do. And you're not, tear anybody else down. You're not doing anything else. And some people are jealous of that. But I still think you should stay in who you are. Because you can stay who you are.
Okay.
In any situation, because if you don't want to be conceited or cocky because you feel like you're not being seen.
So you said stay in who you are. Explain that.
If you are confident, if you are naturally a humble person, if you are strong-minded and you're respectful, you don't change that and go off on people like, let me show them, oh, they want me to be this, they want me to do all. You don't have to do all that. Just be yourself. That's who you are as a person.
Okay, so Kanye West, is he confident, conceited, or cocky?
Crazy.
Oh, the other C.
It's kind of hard.
The views expressed here are simply the person who said the views.
No. I think it's different because if he truly has a mental issue,
exactly,
we really don't know what his real nature is.
He has a mental issue.
Again, that goes back to what I just said. Perception.
Hold on. So he has a mental issue.
We don't know.
No, right?
Oh, okay.
Allegedly,
that goes. So just because you don't know a celebrity, does that mean you know just a regular person?
Because he's been called all of the things,
right? Yeah. But no, I'm just listening to what everybody has been saying. So again, that to me turns into judgment because you don't know what that person's journey process, because you feeling like they came in and did this, that, and the other. So you ain't even giving them the opportunity to learn who they are, what might have brought them to this stage. Just like I said, I was bullied, but at the end of the day, y'all probably don't give a rat's patootie about it. But it's my journey. So
we all been bullied.
Yeah. No, not everybody's been bullied.
Well, no,
I'm talking about us.
Yes, but I'm just saying. So when you turn around and say about being conceited or cocky, again, you could be missing out on a great person just because this instance that you encountered with them was an uncomfortable one for you. And I think that's what we do as human beings is we quick to write off somebody.
Well, I don't think, okay, so I think we're talking about something a little bit different. Because when I think of the definition, I'm strictly talking about what they are and what type of people. I personally know people who are cocky and conceited, and I think some of them are cool people. So I don't think I write off people just because of that. But their nature, I know that they're a little bit like
to the left.
They're about themselves a lot. So, but I'm not saying I would write them off because I did get time to know them. I grew up with a lot of people that I think is a group.
And that's all I'm saying. Yeah. You proved my point. Just what I said. That's exactly what I just said. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't think that's what any of us has said at this point. I think we're just speaking of the word, like what would be the difference between the two in meeting. Like when you encounter, we know what it looks like. I mean, we've been living on this earth long enough to know when you think of the word, the two difference of it looks like. We know when somebody's not confident at all.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's nothing. It's not nothing against the person who's not confident either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's levels of it. It's not confidence, confidence, conceited. It's all those people.
Yeah, because I mean, I raised my hand for confident, but I'm confident in certain things, and then some of the things I'm not.
Sometimes,
because I don't like speaking in public. I don't like singing in public. I don't like
this podcast itself is a thing. Like,
this is different.
But for me, doing it wasn't confident.
Yeah,
because I was like, okay, I don't know how this is gonna go. I see podcasts all the time, but I'm not sure. So I wasn't necessarily confident. I was, I wasn't gonna give up, but I wasn't confident at the time.
Yeah. And conceitedness isn't necessarily always a bad thing. Like, I think that little...
I don't know. I was getting a bad thing vibe early on.
No.
Well, watching some faces.
You taking a little...
Girl.
No, I'm not taking it personal.
Watch
your back. The faces.
I inserted that I didn't raise my hand, but circled back that I do exhibit. So ain't no... nothing over here. Ain't nothing over here. I'm just saying.
Because we're talking about a definition.
I think that it's okay to have a little bit of conceit. Because I don't think that conceited is necessarily bad in little... Sometimes you got to be conceited with yourself. If you got on some good lipstick today, you're like, oh, girl, okay.
Right.
We all do that.
That's confidence, not conceit, though.
Well, but it just depends on who's looking. So I think, like, sometimes when I see people that are, like, super, again, maybe they're just super confident, but crossing the line of conceited, I enjoy watching people that love themselves sometimes when they just keep going for themselves and going for the gusto, as long as they're not hurting other people in the process.
Right.
That's why I say that people do hurt other people in the process.
When I see a football player on the field who is going for the gusto and he makes a touchdown that doesn't look like it's going to be made because he was so confident in himself and he kicked in that conceit, like, man, I'm me. I got this. I can do this. It's like,
but that's not
I love that.
Conceited.
It just depends on who's looking, because when he gets to the touchdown and do the dance and throw the ball and do that stuff,
that's why I said perception.
Yeah.
But that's perception.
I think that's performance.
Conceited.
But they get in trouble for, what do they call it when they go overboard with their celebration?
Oh, yeah. They get fined, don't they?
It's a penalty for that. So,
but it's not conceited to rally and party for yourself.
Okay, so you're saying that confidence has
rally for yourself, party for yourself, enjoy you, hooray you is nothing. That's not being conceited.
So you think that confidence has multiple levels?
Conceit is somebody who is saying, I want you to see me because I believe I am the biggest thing. I am all world. I am this, and this, and you are nothing. That's conceited.
I have a different opinion. And that's great. That's why this conversation. Yeah, because I see what you're saying. But so it seems like to you, you just think confidence has different levels. Versus if
you mean conceited, because that's what
No. I think that what I'm hearing from her is that she thinks confidence has multiple levels, because if conceited doesn't exist when you cross over a certain line.
But what is a cross?
Well, I don't think that. I agree with you. I don't think when you're boosting yourself up, like if you say, yeah, I know I'm smart.
Yeah. So is that conceited or is that just boosting yourself?
If you say I know I'm smart, that's good. But if you walk in the room talking about I'm the smartest thing, if somebody say something like I'm smart. So it's confident if it's just within yourself, but it's conceited when you are.
It's conceited when you feel like that you have to dang near yell to everybody else, I am this, and you better know it's me.
You seen that conceited person walk in the room, and you're like, wow.
No.
But you seen that person who walks in the room, and they're like, wow.
Yes.
You know, so we, you know the difference. We know that we've seen the difference.
Well, are you cocky or conceited, or are you just confident? Right. We all have some differing opinions, which is why this is a great thing, because we get to hear each other and see different perspectives. So,
correct.
Thank you for joining us for this episode. Drop some stuff in the comments, because y'all, we're going to circle back to the comments and have a B-roll conversation. So thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye.